Hello everybody, it's Jamie from Old Shipping Lines and welcome back again to a ship story video. Today we're gonna talk about a famous P&O liner, the life of the RMS Strathnaver. So with that out of the way guys, let's begin. So first of course we're gonna start with her building. The Strathnaver would have had two sister ships, the RMS Strathnaver and the RMS Strathnaver. And they would be called the Beautiful White Sisters, or just White Sisters. The Vickers Armstrong shipyard at Burrow in Fonres built all 5 Strath-class liners. Strathnaver was launched on 5 February 1931 and completed in September 1931 and left Tilbury on her maiden voyage on 2 October. In 1929, P&O had introduced its first large turbo-electric liner, the RMS Viceroy of India. The company chose the same propulsion system for the Strathnaver and the Strathnaver, but the Straths were slightly larger ships. Their turbo-electric equipment was much more powerful, and they were about 3 knots faster than the Viceroy of India. Strathnaver and the Strathnaver were very similar. Each had 4 water tube boilers and 2 auxiliary boilers. The boilers had a combined heating service of 56,000 square feet and supplied steam at 425 to 2 turbo generators. These supplied current in 2 electric motors with a combined rating of 6,315. British Thompson Houston of Rugby, Warwickshire, built the turbo generators and motors. The motors drove a pair of inward rotating screw propellers. Strathnaver and Strathnaver had 3 funnels, but only the middle one served as a smokestack. The first and third funnels were dummies. Strathnaver and Strathnaver were each equipped with a direction-finding equipment and echo sounding device and a gyropass. As built, Strathnaver had accommodation for 498 first class and 668 tourist class passengers and 467 crew. In first class, the ship had 262 single berth rooms, with the rest double berthed. A special suite on D-deck had 12 deluxe cabins, each with a private bathroom. The tourist class cabins were either 2 or 4 berthed. And now we move on to her early life. From the start, the RMS Strathnaver presented the very highest standards on board, calling at Marseilles, Suez, Bombay and Colombo to collect and deliver mail and provisions, whilst providing a truly luxurious travel experience. She was one of the largest passenger liners in the P&O fleet. Upon her arrival at Sydney, she was greeted with much excitement and celebration. The Sydney Harbour Bridge was still under construction at this time, and all work stopped for the explosion of fireworks and steamers that greeted her first arrival into port. On her return to Tilbury in March 1932, a special dinner was held on board to commemorate the completion of her maiden return voyage. The occasion was even marked by the BBC, who broadcast the various speeches as a test broadcast for their new BBC World Service, which came into full operation just 9 months later. In the middle of her voyages between England and Australia, the RMS Strathnaver would conduct short holiday excursion cruises around the Mediterranean and the Black Sea, whilst in 1938 additional refrigeration was installed, enabling her to carry chilled beef, lamb and other commodities from Australia to the UK. Whilst the majority of her career would be spent in a passenger liner role, the outbreak of World War II saw her requisitioned as a troop carrier in 1940. Her bright white paint was replaced with battleship grey, and she commenced embarking Australian and New Zealand troops before transporting them to fight in the Middle East. On 11 November 1942, she took part in Operation Torch, the invasion of North Africa, delivering troops to the port of Algiers. Within 24 hours, however, she was playing a more dangerous role, as she ferried survivors from the P&O company SS Cathay, as well as the British India company Karanya, both of whom had been bombed by German aircraft during the early stages of the operation. The RMS Strathnaver took part in numerous support operations, including acting as a training vessel for the brave troops preparing for the Italian landings in 1943, as well as those at Anzio in the later part of the conflict. She remained a troop ship until November 1948, when she was returned to P&O. In her 9 years of government service, she carried 129,000 troops and travelled 352,000 miles. And now we move on to her later life. P&O had Holland de Wolf in Belfast refit her for civilian service. First class was abolished and all accommodation was made tourist class, which slightly increased total passenger capacity from 1,168 to 1,252. The dummy first and third funnels were removed, which made Strathnaver look more like her later sisters Stratheden, Strathallan and Strathmore and Strathheard. Originally planned to be retired in mid-1962, the Strathnaver was refitted a few months earlier due to an Australian government decision not to reserve any more berths for migrants in the first 5 months of 1962. P&O sold Strathnaver and Strathheard for scrap to Shanfang Ironworks of Hong Kong. Strathnaver arrived in Hong Kong in April 1962 on her last voyage. Canberra replaced both Strathnaver and Strathheard on the Australia route. And that is the end of a ship story video and the end of the story of the RMS Strathnaver. This is a slightly shorter video than normal, but I really liked making this video and I hope you guys liked this video too. Now leave please your comments of what you thought of this video in the description down below. It really helps a lot. And I quickly also want to thank all the new subscribers who have joined the channel. It also means a lot. So if you have friends who like ships or ocean liners, please show them my channel. We are trying to reach the 400 subs and I know we can do it together. So guys, with that out of the way, have a good night or day wherever you are and we will see each other on the next one. Goodbye.